Chapter 3. Raiden.
You in the charge!
We head to the Wu Shi Academy, where we see our 4 champions, who have been training for months. The Wu Shi Academy is the first returning stage out of the 4 we see in the story mode. If you walk all the way to the left of the stage, you can see a nice sand garden, and you can totally ruin it.
I won't miss this job. Raking that sand took...
In the middle of the stage, you can see a small circular arena with 5 statues around it. This is a homage to how the Wu Shi Academy looked in the previous games. The Wu Shi Academy theme is also my favorite song in the entire game. The round 2 part goes hard. We see Raiden training with his Shaolin brothers, and he's wearing his signature straw hat. Actually, that's something I'd like to compliment about this game. Since the first Mortal Kombat game in 1992, Raiden's design was inspired by the storms from Big Trouble in Little China, which is why he has the conical hat. And it just kind of stuck around throughout the series. In M1K however, there is a canonical reason as to why Raiden has the bamboo hat. He's a farmer.
Farm boy.
He uses the farm hat the intended way it's supposed to be used. 30 years of character development finally led to this baby. Another question I'd like to ask about the rice hat. Why is he wearing it in battle? Other than it being a reference, it doesn't yield any benefits. Well, I personally have a headcanon for this. Raiden loves his village Fangjian, so much so that he almost didn't leave it for the journey.
Leave Fangjian? I'm needed here.
So I'd like to believe that bringing the hat is bringing a little bit of Fangjian with him, showing the pride of where he came from to his opponents. It is also very good at covering his face from the blood of his enemies. Kung Lao shows off his cool new hat.
Maybe it's too effective.
Liu Kang explains the tournament. One of the champions must face off against Sindel's 7 evil opponents, and Liu Kang is hosting a mini tournament to determine who to represent Earthrealm. The first fight is Raiden vs Johnny Cage.
Raiden, step forward.
Raiden, least interesting one of the 4. Step forward.
Good call. Call the weak first.
You shall face him, Johnny Cage.
I don't think you can handle this much boom.
These expressions are really great.
The fight begins, and the announcer is now Liu Kang.
Fight!
In Chapter 1, even without the razor-rimmed hat, Kung Lao still has a couple of special moves. Raiden, however, loses all of them, which makes his combos really weak. However, he does gain one new special move. Cartwheel kick. He defeats Johnny and Kenshi.
You may rest, Raiden. This evening, you will face your final opponent.
You may rest, Raiden. We need to show the nighttime version of the stage.
Then he faces Kung Lao.
Concede, Raiden. You have never beaten me.
No, but... enhanced cartwheel.
Raiden wins.
Although you have all trained well, Raiden has excelled. This outcome does not surprise me.
Now I don't really know how I feel from a power scale standpoint that Raiden won, considering that Kung Lao and Johnny both have all their abilities, while Raiden only has... You know what? Never mind. Maybe Raiden is OP, but I do like Raiden winning from a motivation point of view. Every one of the champions have a motive for why they want to fight. Kung Lao fights to make a name for himself. Johnny is sort of the same, but more for Hollywood fame and money. Kenshi is here for Sento. It is only Raiden who is truly here to fight for Earthrealm.
We all have our reasons for being here, but we are not here to fight among ourselves. We are here to fight for Earthrealm.
This is probably why Liu Kang wasn't surprised by the outcome. Other than the enhanced cartwheel kick, of course. Liu Kang then gives Raiden an amulet that allows him to conjure lightning, which sadly takes away his cartwheel kick. This is a very interesting change. Raiden does not have powers in this universe. He uses the amulet for electricity powers. Technically speaking, if any of the other champions won, they could use lightning powers too.
You came so close to being Earthrealm's champion.
It would have been awesome. That amulet paired with my hat.
This is probably how the talismans work in Invasions Mode 2. Also, Johnny has a picture of older Johnny from MK11.
Keep dreaming, Mini-Me.
Kung Lao worries for Raiden, but Liu Kang reassures him.
I would never send my champions unwittingly into mortal combat.
Now, people think that this joke meant that the tournament is called Mortal Kombat. I know I did.
Mortal combat.
Ayo, so it is called Mortal Kombat.
But I don't think that is the case. In the subtitles, it isn't capitalized like a title should be. No one calls it Mortal Kombat in the tournament. And after the ending, Shang Tsung seems to be actually doing a Mortal Kombat tournament.
I'm hosting a tournament. You should come.
This tournament has no rules.
You'll do no better in Mortal Kombat.
So no, I don't think the Grand Martial Arts tournament between Earthrealm and the Realm of Outworld is called Mortal Kombat. Then Raiden trains for another week to get used to his new lightning powers. Alright, I guess that's chapter 3 there. Oh, it's still going.
That was unexpected.
This is the longest chapter NRS has ever made, but I do think it works narratively in the long run. And gameplay wise, Raiden changes drastically with lightning powers. The gang is ready to embark on their journey, but before we can continue, I need to talk about this location. This is the Fire Temple. It is Liu Kang's home. And it is the only stage in the story mode that you don't fight on. Very interesting.
Interesting.
We actually do see this place quite a lot of times in the story mode, so I personally assume that a fight was going to happen here. The stage, as the name suggests, is pretty lit. If you go all the way to the left, you can see some incenses. You can also totally ruin them. And now, Raiden is ready to face the challenges, while everyone else is ready to have a nice Outworld vacation.
Do not film me.
They enter Outworld.
Hello, ladies.
Oh my.
Oh my.
We are Earthrealm's ambassadors, Johnny. We'll show them respect, not unwanted attention.
Then they head to the palace of Empress Sindel. On the way, they go through a festival welcoming the Earthrealmers in Sundo. In the old timeline, Sundo was only a small village and Outworld, and was first seen in Mortal Kombat Deception's Conquest mode. In M1K's timeline, however, Sundo is now the capital of Outworld, and is thriving with people. This is also the first time Sundo is a playable stage. We see the happiest Shogun playing the drums. I wanna believe this is a reference to Goro's drums in Deadly Alliance.
Those are Centaurians and Shokan.
The six-armed beings are not Nodens.
Smash it?
No.
The carriage then comes to halt, because Li Mei is transporting prisoners with Tarkat.
She stomps to the woman with the ponytail.
First Constable!
Melina does not want the Earthrealmers to know about the Tarkatans in the capital. By the way, I get they need to find a way to keep the Tarkatan name in this universe, but I still find it weird that people who are infected with Tarkat are called Tarkatans. It's like if you have AIDS, then you're called AIDSer.
Everything about this video is a disaster!
Li Mei also transports the same prisoners twice.
As Sundo's first constable, you must show better judgment.
No, don't do it!
The Outward characters don't seem to like Li Mei a lot, and the reason for that is because
Li Mei used to lead the Umgadi. It was on her watch that the princess's father was murdered.
And instead of facing punishment for her crimes, she left the Umgadi to become a first constable, so that she can still help Outworld in her own ways. They reach the palace, as they see
Red alert. Incoming stock villain.
Your people's frail minds couldn't handle the truth.
You presume them frail, General. Should you? Given how frequently they win this tournament?
Damn!
He will taste no victory.
He will taste your own blood. That did not come out well.
Yay!
and then the queen enters.
Enter.
the opening ceremony begins.
Place in the living forest. It has begun.
He said it! He said it!
Raiden's first opponent is Li Mei.
I will honor both the Royal House and all of Outworld with my combat.
If so, you will vastly exceed my expectations.
Hopefully, this will be the first of many victories.
Raiden also joins the passive-aggressive smack talk. I feel way too bad for Li Mei. I need her to win this. Tell me everything is okay for her.
Raiden was stunned to have lost his opening match. He couldn't help but wonder.
I don't care about her thrill. Tell me Li Mei got a little more respect. The fight begins, and Sindel is now the announcer.
Fight!
Raiden now has lightning powers. He also gained a new cameo fighter. His new BFF Lightning Elemental. The Great Hall also has some fun Easter eggs. Once you start fighting, one of the Gaddy guards will get spooked and run away. She will never come back. There's a portrait of Sindel and Jared on the right. There are some pretty interesting audience members. And you can see the queen and the princesses looking at you on the left. If you pick any of the characters on the throne, their spots on the throne will be empty. This is the same case for when you pick Havoc in the Temple of Kataravala, and Sento will be gone if you pick Kenshi in Cage Mansion. Melina is also really into the fight.
Get him! Get him!
Raiden wins.
Lee made the Dark of Shame? Oh wait.
The next fight is with Reiko.
He cringes.
There was no other way.
Raiden wins.
Felled by a simple farmer.
All your training, and still you lost to Raiden. His amulet gave him an unfair advantage.
The tournament then takes an intermission. We cut to a banquet at the Hanging Gardens, which might be the most beautiful stage in the entire game. Something interesting about Kung Lao in this game is that they turned him into a foodie.
Delicious. Next to Ray. Oh,
I'm sorry, you're 10,000 years old? Oh, talk about aging.
Wait, what? Are you a child?
Are you going to eat that?
Raiden and Liu Kang then say a direct line from MK9.
What do you see in him?
He is a hero, Captain, though he may not yet know it.
They then have a small scene introducing Rain, and then Melina passes some gas.
Are you unwell, princess?
I'm fine, Tanya.
Can't see. You barely touched your plate.
I know I'm to fight Melina, but will I also face Tanya?
By tradition, you should not. If you did, you would be tested.
Excuse me? Are you implying that fighting Melina wouldn't be hard, but Tanya would?
It doesn't seem fair.
Sindel then makes a toast, and General Shao makes fun of the Earthrealmers.
Earthrealmers are devoid of all.
That's enough, General.
Later, we head to Sindel's chambers, as Sindel gives General Shao a spanking. Then she sees Kitana and Melina.
I saw what happened this evening.
There was nothing. Something I ate.
She then decides to let Kitana take Melina's place in the tournament, in fear that her Tarkat syndrome will manifest.
That's your problem, Melina. You never think.
We cut to the next day, as Raiden has already defeated many other opponents.
Among others, you have defeated Kotal, Motaro, and Shiva. Only two.
Oh my gosh, they name dropped them. Wow, Kotal exists in this universe. Let's go, Kotal exists. Kotal mentioned.
Then he faces Kitana.
Your Majesty, this is unprecedented. I have not prepared him to battle Kitana.
Again with this?
Liu Kang really wants Raiden to fight Melina.
Liu Kang, you are very rude to Melina. If you fight Tanya, that'll be a test. Melina, he is not prepared for Katana. Melina,
Maybe Liu Kang knows when Melina isn't in target mode. She loses half her special moves. If you lose here, it will say that he lost because he was beguiled by Katana's charmed beauty.
Was I that obvious, Johnny?
Raiden wins, and says another quote from MK9.
I hope we meet again. Under different circumstances.
He beams at her.
Then he faces General Shell.
All of Outworld is grateful.
Raiden wins.
It's over. I have done it.
that's kind of cute. I did it.
Congratulations, Raiden. Earthrealm wins.
Sindel slightly pissed. Congratulations. Earthrealm wins.
I'm sure losing the tournament stung.
You have no idea how much.
Raiden has done it. He has won the Grand Martial Arts tournament between Earthrealm. I am not reading all that again. And then Raiden and his friends go home. And that's basically chapter 3, the end of Act 1. I've heard some people say that they don't like this tournament, and that it's boring. But I personally really liked it. I would even go as far as to say that it's my favorite in all the games. First off, I like how much more thought and care is put into establishing each opponent. In previous games, it's mostly just he from Outworld, he bad guy.
He got caged.
But here, each character is given motivation as to why they are fighting in the tournament, so it makes each fight feel more impactful, and helps us learn more about the characters. This especially works well for establishing Li Mei. Another aspect that I hear from people is that the previous tournament had more stakes, characters dying,
Stop!
and Outworld taking over Earthrealm if they win. While I do agree that it's way more serious in previous timelines, there are still big consequences in the M1K tournament. If Raiden loses to General Shell, Outworld will go to war with Earthrealm. And during the tournament, I like seeing Earthrealm and Outworld characters getting along. It helps us understand the characters more. And when their inevitable conflict ensues, it helps us understand each side better. This tournament also does something that rarely any of the other tournaments do right. No bullshit rules, no fighting your own teammates, no eliminated opponents coming back to fight, no Shang Tsung BS,
A challenge!
no battle royale, no third party faction butting in all the sudden, no assassination attempts during the tournament, no assassination attempts before the tournament even starts, no 2v1 bullshit fights. Well, unless you count Raiden's best friend Lightning Elemental. They even explain why Raiden has to go through a gauntlet of fights himself.
Only one of us, Lord Liu Kang? Isn't Outworld fielding several champions?
The tournament's rules give the host realm that advantage, and it is Outworld's turn as host.
This may seem unfair, but since the host realm is switched every tournament, it would eventually even out.
Earthrealm and Outworld have long been evenly matched.
Also, it seemed like Raiden was able to study the matchup before the fights, whereas the host realm was not able to.
His amulet gave him an unfair advantage.
Man, it's so great to see a tournament with no broken rules. We haven't had something this great since Battle of the Realms. I fucking hate myself for saying that. The last thing I want to compliment about this tournament are the events they set up for future chapters. The Tarkat disease, Li Mei's struggles, General Shao's distaste for Earthrealm, King Jared's buried location, a prophecy and a sorcerer, Melina's conditions. While the tournament arc was going on, they were also planting the seeds for what's to come in the next part of the story. All these combined, and I personally really liked how NRS did this segment in the game.
And I am glad to accept that compliment.
Welcome to the Double ID. Interesting intro dialogues, there are none. I already use them up throughout this video. Sorry. However, I will still do. Let's break it down. Raiden. It's funny, you know. I normally don't gravitate towards goody two-shoe main protagonist characters, but I find Raiden to be not bad. He's very kind-hearted, very humble.
Raiden is infuriatingly humble.
And the thing I like about him most are his weirdly sick burns.
You have skills, Raiden, but you're inexperienced.
Do you still question my nerve?
Concede, Raiden. You have never beaten me.
If the monks have taught us one thing, it's that the only constant in the universe is change. There is a first time for everything, Kung Lao. Hopefully, this will be the first of many victories.
In whose army have you served? In what wars have you fought?
I have done neither.
Then you are woefully unprepared, Earthrealmer.
Felled by a simple farmer.
I like seeing this really different depiction of Raiden, and I think one of the smartest things they did with Raiden was pretty much write him out of the story.
Excuse me?
After chapter 3, he's pretty much just gone, which I think is great. Raiden won the tournament, his arc is pretty much finished, so the game now gets to give more focus to other characters. And honestly, I don't know how much more Raiden I could take before I started getting annoyed by Goody Two-Shoe Man.
Infuriatingly humble.
Overall, chapter 3 starts off a bit slow, but picks back up during the tournament. I'm very impressed that NRS has made me care for these characters up to this point. I guess you could say, it's lightning in a bottle.
By the Elder Gods.
I am the calm before the storm.
Quitality.